such a very strange last week. And in the description box below, I included a video from Rex Bear Leak Project. Hey Rex. He was talking about entering nemesis cloud or a debris field. And when I saw his video, and I think that was on Wednesday or Thursday last week, I was going through a lot in my personal life, and I kind of was like losing it. I thought I was going off my rocker for a second because things weren't looking too good for me, and people were acting funny. It seemed like I had went into a timeline that I do not recall. I do not remember. I remember, but I do not recall the circumstances that led up to being in such a distraught and miserable feeling. So I want to know if you guys went through this too. It seemed like things were going this way, and then it seems when I woke up this morning, things are now back over here. I'm telling you guys, this June fourth dimensional negative energy that we've entered, I've been so on point about what I channeled in the beginning of this month, and kind of grateful I did go into the deep channels to extract that kind of message to find out, what are we entering, what are we going through, and can't find my book, but I wrote in my little diary, and I showed it here on my videos, that the 18th, the 24th, and the 27th will be 3 interesting days. And it seems that I was very accurate. I think we had went into a different timeline. We jumped somewhere from the 18th into the 24th. And then we're going to have another jump on the 27th to the 29th. Something's just too weird. Because even like my own behavior last week was pretty crummy. And there's some repercussions with my work environment that I guess I'll be discussing certain things. And I've issued several apologies since last week because the thing about it, I was grieving my closest friend, and a lot of people were sick of it. A lot of my clients were mad that I was going through something, and it's kind of sad that they wouldn't allow me to go through a moment of sadness without consoling me. It was just like people just left me out on a boat in the middle of a creek. Creek or a roaring rapid? I think a roaring rapid, but the response that people had towards me last week really opened my eyes, and I think that's what kind of lowered me to a very low frequency, and essentially like a dark corner, if you may. So I yeah, but things are good today. Things are better now, and I'm only grateful that I'm still here, that I'm able to, for lack of words, thank God that, that there's still favor over me, that there's still favor over you all, and that it seems that there is no right or wrong in this journey, that there is only good and evil, and if you don't consider yourself evil, and you know from your heart you don't intend evil, then you are in the good. And it just really is a revelation that we really are here on free will, because the way that I was reacting to my situations, I had guilt to myself, judged myself, and beat myself to the fullest extent. And when I came to realization of the mirror that I was holding to myself, it made me realize that I was feeding my ego. I was living in my ego But it wasn't in the form of selfishness and self-centeredness. My ego was protecting me, to be quite honest with you all. My ego really stepped up because when I lost my closest friend, my soulmate, and if anyone has had a soulmate, you can only imagine when that person's not there, there's no one else around you. Everyone's just watching you like a zoo animal. And that's how I've been feeling for the last 7. Well, he left 3 years ago, but for the last 7 years, I was starting to feel like a zoo animal. And that was the last conversation that he and I had, was that we're to live in this jungle, but as long as we're in this together, it's okay. We're in this together. But anyways, and then yesterday was kind of interesting because I have family from the South in Missouri, Alabama, Minnesota, and and they gave me a surprise video message yesterday because they knew I was down in the dumps, and yeah, I was feeling a little bit of depression. I understand that it's only a couple days to a week long, and that's approximately when I was feeling at my worst emotionally. And my family, well, not extended family, but they're all from other parts of the country. They gave me this really beautiful video message, cheering me up, making me feel better. And that was really all I needed, was just a good boost of, I just needed to know support was around me. And the reptilian Facebook, it's kind of interesting because people were saying, like, you putting too much information out on Facebook and da 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 da. I'm like, don't I know everyone personally on Facebook? There's a fly. Get away from me. I know everyone personally on Facebook. But I don't know. I don't understand why people think Facebook is like where you post things to the public to gain popularity. But that's not how I approach Facebook. Facebook to me is like, if I had a book and everyone wanted to read my story, I want everyone to know every single detail, every word for wisdom, every corner, every achievement, and even sometimes my low points where I found resolution. I want people to see that, because my only justification that I have as a person is my social media. Because my job and the things that I do are all physical and nonverbal, it's easy for allegations and it's easy for integration, discrimination, and harassment and judgment on a daily basis for what I do, because it's nonverbal. Imagine you guys cueing people on different exercise techniques by listening to music and giving them the structure and the mobility, the movements, the things that they're going to do. And then what I kind of misunderstood was, I thought because I'm there for these people all the time, that they're there for me all the time. And that's where I messed up. That's where my ego misunderstood what having that kind of job is. And the realization was, I can't always think people are there to support me. Just like this channel, I can't expect everyone to stay subscribed to my channel because, because I am who I am, or it's fascinating because I pay notice to when my subscriptions drop, and it's usually because people want me to have answers for everything. And channel your own answers, like everyone has the gift to do that, but people don't. People want to rely on other people, and this is what I came to realization with. Everyone wants to rely on something instead of relying on themselves. And when I came to that realization that I need to stop putting out so much and overqualifying myself and trying to prove my quality to everyone, because I'm going to fail. It's a setup for failure, because when you are exceeded your capacity of being exhausted and you still have to keep going, uh, it's a recipe for disaster, essentially. Um, yeah, so that's all I want to share with everybody is I don't know what that vortex was. That it was crazy. It's funny. I was actually listening to President Trump today, whether you like him or not, but he was talking about the executive order about health care, and the timing's very weird that he wouldn't have that announcement today. And he used a word that stuck out to me, and the word was realm. He said something in the terms of um, something like, and we will not go back to that realm. We're only going to go forward. And that was like, the heck was that? This is funny, you guys. I need a reality show. Anyways, confirmation of what Mr. T said. Anyways, I'll let you guys go. Have a great rest of your day, and I will give you guys an update later today. I'm going to be doing some channeling right now to know where are we going from here, because it came to my awareness that we're still not moving fast enough. We're still not getting ahead enough. We're still kind of like, we're right there, but as things are happening, we're unfolding, but we're not ahead. So I really challenge everybody to let's help each other and let's help the community in getting ahead, because we're still moving a little slow is what I feel in our and how could you blame us? We're in this 3D body with these damn devices, and and I laugh because this rug was so cute, right? And I was like, oh, there's a hexagram. Oh, that's very Saturn-like. And then I was looking at my blanket. I'm like, oh, pentagrams on the outside. That's very Saturn. And then I was like, oh no, even my pillow, there's. So it is quite fascinating. The things that you can catch. I think even in my patterns here, you can't see it, but there's something very Saturnian there. Anyways, I just thought, like, because we have so much frequency embedded in our patterns in our own homes, it makes it very difficult to get our vibration up high. And speaking of patterns, I need to fix my heart. Yes, that one should look like that one. So that's going to be my little mission. And the last thing I want to say is I want to thank my family for what encouragement they gave me. They told me, instead of mourning and grieving because it brings you to the low frequency, which I never thought my family would say, they said, why don't you write a letter thanking creation, God, the divine, thanking God for bringing this truth to surface, bringing the person to life, creating the relationship and the journey we've had. And it was like a very therapeutic, it was just what I needed. Because a lot of times people rely on me too much for resources and answers, but people forget I'm only 36 years old. I don't have all the answers to the world, but I think I'm very courageous to want to keep standing against the hurricane, even though you can never survive standing against a hurricane. But I'm like an F it, who cares, let's do it kind of a person. I'm that person who says, I want to know all the things that Jesus knew. I want to know I want to know it all. I want to know how he did what he did. I want his knowledge. And it's not in an egotistical way. I just want to know enough to be the best person that I can be to myself, because I wasted a lot of time being the best person I can to prove other people that I am the best person that I can be. And it was a mistake that I didn't realize until the nemesis cloud came through last week. And it's fascinating because I even put a message out there, and it was about darkness. Is darkness being misunderstood? And to that aspect, I believe it is. You know, we went through something very dark and heavy and thick last week, and there was no way out other than going through it and stifling ourselves, beating ourselves up, judging ourselves, and feeling horrible. And then here we are with the bright sunlight and everything. It even rained last night here, and I didn't even. It's weird. I did a walk last night, like around midnight. And when I woke up this morning, there was water everywhere. So I'm very confused, but I'm just proud to be exactly where I am today versus the last 4 or 5 days, what was going on. Yeah, there's even something I wanted to mention, but I'll leave that for another day. Yep, because we're at 16 minutes and I want my video to upload. All right, take care, everybody.